you, Arsha. I'm so happy to see all PG students attending this master class. And Nandita madam spoke about advances. I'll speak on the basics of IPF, and that is diminished overhead reserve. A stitching time saves 9, and this is so true as far as diminished overhead reserve is concerned. I bring greetings from Omega Hospital, Nagpur, along with the team of my directors, Dr. Manisha Shembekar, Dr. Ashish Zararia, Dr. Kalpana Jetha, Dr. Puja Karpe, Dr. Shantanu Shembekar, and all the team. They are all here witnessing this innovation of Matushka IVF Center. I also bring greetings from Nagpur Gurjar Society, where Sangeeta is now president, and me, Sushma, Marashapia, all are past presidents. I bring greetings from AMOX and also from Maharashtra Professor. Don't underestimate the power of ovary. And this is a very important statement. Why this statement is important, I will tell you. Respect ovary, ovary will respect you. ध्यान रखना ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती. I will give you 4 references which will give you idea about the importance of ovary as far as the diminished ovarian reserve is concerned. The first is the guidelines for endometriosis. ESHRE guidelines did say that if you are doing surgery for endometrioma, please take the consent of the patient that your ovarian reserve may go down because of the surgery, and this you should explain to the patient, counsel with her, and then only go for the surgery. Second, guidelines for benign cystic dermoids. Don't remove dermoid if it is 5 cm or below 5 cm. Similarly, there are fertility and sterility guidelines for which cysts to remove and when to remove. It is said as far as possible, do not remove simple cysts because they are not going to create any problem as far as the fertility is concerned. And इन्हीं लोगों ने diminished ovarian reserve करके हमारी fertility को बदनाम किया, जिन्होंने इस तरीके से ओवरी को छन्नी करके जला दिया. And this is what people used to do for laparoscopic ovarian drilling. Then came the rule of 4, and now we know that even if laparoscopic ovarian drilling is given in the guidelines of ESHRE as a part of treatment of PCOS, you have to be extremely careful while handling the ovaries. Respect ovary and ovary will respect you. So we go to the basics. We know that there are 3 conditions which are associated with the diminished ovarian reserve. One is premature ovarian insufficiency. पहले उसको failure बोलते थे, अभी failure नहीं बोलते क्योंकि failure is not a good word. So premature ovarian insufficiency where FSH level goes above 25 and the ovaries are not functioning. In that situation, it is a hypergonadotrophic hypogonadism, and here the patient is not going to conceive. But there is something called as diminished ovarian reserve, जिसमें अभी भी वक्त है और इस वक्त को हमें utilize करना है, because here the AMH is low but the FSH is not very high, and therefore you still have time and you can actually work on such patients. And the third is hypogonadotrophic hypogonadism, a kind of condition which responds very well to treatment with the drugs if the AMH is normal. Here the AMH may be normal. So I will be discussing few clinical minutes, and tell me when to stop because it is already late. I will try to finish as much as possible, but we can stop whenever you feel that we should stop. First is mind well that these are all fictitious characters, so there is no relationship with anybody. I will tell you the story of Tanara. Tanara is a young girl. She is in her late 20s. She is a banker. She has a bright career. She stays in US, San Francisco area, and she is still following Indian culture and traditions. She frequently visits India because there are so many relatives in India, and now she is here in India for a marriage of her school friend. And the parents, they say that Tanara jara jaake Dr. Chaitanya Shembekar se mil lo, because you are a gynecologist and a family friend of her parents of Tanara. Marriage is not on cards in near future, but she wants to know about her ovarian reserve. She wants to know what is my ovarian reserve, and you just ask her to get her AMH done, and her AMH is 0.8. So this is the situation which is happening nowadays very frequently. What are the options available? मैं तो बोलूँगा, मैं ओल्ड स्कूल वाला हूँ, मैं बोलूँगा बेटा जल्दी हाथ पीले कर ले, जल्दी शादी कर ले और जल्दी बच्चे पैदा कर ले. लेकिन your friend also, her mother also says, please tell her कि जल्दी शादी कर ले, and Tanara gives you that typical look. आजकल के लड़कियों का जो अप्रोच है, शादी इस उम्र में, and now you have to counsel for what next. And here comes the role of oocyte freezing. Nandita Madam has told you about oocyte freezing. She has talked about the film stars and the celebrities. But I must tell you that we in last 2 years are getting patients from Wardha, from Hinganghat, from Chhindwara for oocyte freezing. So soon Matoshi will also get patients for oocyte freezing, and this is something which is in offering. And young girls, they wish to preserve their oocytes and they want to marry late. And this is because the multinational companies, they are actually coming with the insurance packages. They say अभी तुम oocytes freeze करो, काम करो अच्छे से, और 40 साल के होने के बाद फिर बच्चे पैदा करो. And that is what insurance companies are also, and the corporate world is also encouraging, and that is why this is the problem. Now, as far as Panara is concerned, there is one more thing which you should remember. There is something called as ethnicity, and Indians and Asians, they are actually prone for diminished organism. So don't compare yourself with your friends in Spain, in Japan, or in US, because there is a paper. There was a research paper in fertility and sterility जिसने सबकी आंखें खोल दी, and this was a paper in 2014 which says that ovarian age in Indians is 6.3 years ahead as compared to Spanish women. That means the ovarian age of a 32-year-old Indian girl is same as 38-year-old Spanish girl. So this is our social responsibility to create awareness amongst our family members, our friends in the society, that please get married early and have kids, at least one kid before the age of 30, so that your ovarian reserve is still functioning and your ovaries are still functioning. Now, there are more factors which are important. As far as Tanara is concerned, I need not tell you one thing, her BMI, and her BMI is 32, and she is also a party girl. So she frequently, enjoys smoking and अभी आजकल दारू तो कोई पीता नहीं, वेट जो कुछ भी है. So she is a party girl, and these two factors are important because it is said that in non-PMOS obese girls, AMH is usually low. That means obese PMOS will have high AMH, but non-PMOS obese girls usually have low AMH. And smoking is known to cause follicular atresia. There are other factors which are important in India, because in India TB हवा में है, TB is in air, and therefore you should always keep genital tuberculosis in mind. And uterine artery embolization, chemotherapy, radiotherapy are the things which are now becoming more and more common. And why do girls marry? Girls marry because you cannot blame Modi ji for anything and everything which is happening in your family. You need a husband, and therefore you marry so that you can pass on the blame to your husbands. But similarly, there is something called as genetics and immunological factors. These two factors are there to pass on the problems. अरे जैसे हम लोग बच्चे थे ना, तो फीवर होता था तो तुम्हें वायरल फीवर होगा. वायरल एक ऐसा शब्द था जो कि कुछ नहीं किया तो वायरल फीवर है. आजकल कुछ नहीं हुआ तो immunological factor है, कुछ नहीं हुआ तो genetic factor. So these are the two things which are becoming more and more common as far as the cause of diminished oral reserve is concerned. And सास भी कभी बहू थी, जैसे कि सास भी कभी बहू थी, वैसे ही DOR भी कभी PMOS थी. मतलब a young girl, she knows that she is a case of PMOS, her age is 24, but at the age of 32, the same girl will be a case of diminished oral reserve. Her ovaries are bulky, but if you do the follicular count, the follicles are only 3 to 4. That means her ovarian reserve has gone down. So don't be under that impression that she will once a PMO, always a PMO. ऐसा नहीं है. उसको CA तो बैठने होगा, उसको हाइपरटेंशन होगा, लेकिन उसका ओवरऑल रिजर्व जरूर कम होने वाला है, because age is the factor which will help, which will actually reduce the oral reserve. So this is something which you should keep in mind. As far as the diminished oral reserve is concerned, because you are a student and I am so happy to see so many students in front of me, you must know what are Poseidon criteria. जब तक तुम्हारा मातृश्री आईवीएफ शुरू हो गया है, पहला क्वेश्चन तुमको आएगा पोसेडॉन क्राइटेरिया क्या है, और मातृश्री आईवीएफ के हर कंसल्टेंट, हर स्टूडेंट को पोसेडॉन क्राइटेरिया मालूम होने चाहिए, because Poseidon is something which will give you idea about which category the patient belongs to, and this is possible only after stimulating the patient for IVF. So non-IVF there are no Poseidon criteria. Group 1 is unpleasant surprise in young girls. Age less than 35, you don't get oocytes from the follicles, and you are actually very much depressed because you don't get oocytes. But this is an unpleasant surprise. Group 2 is unpleasant surprise in the girls where age is more than 35. That means everything is normal. Her age is normal, her age is normal, but still you are not getting the response. They are group 1 and group 2. Group 3 is a very classical. सारी सिंपैथी group 3 पे रहेगी. सारी सिंपैथी तुम देखो जितने भी रिसर्च पेपर्स रहेंगे ना, सब ग्रुप 3 पे रिसर्च ज्यादा से ज्यादा होता है. क्यों ग्रुप 3 पे होता है? क्योंकि ग्रुप 3 के ऊपर लोगों की सबसे ज्यादा सिंपैथी रहती है. और सिंपैथी क्यों रहती है? Because their age is less than 35, but still their AMH is low and their AMH is low and their AFC is also low. That means they are actual cases of diminished organ reserve, and that is why we are worried about them because they are young. And group 4 Poseidon is their age is more than 35, but their AMH is low, so we know that they have a problem and we have to treat them. And therefore Poseidon criteria will actually categorize the patient and will help us in managing the patient. So आप सब लोगों को अभी जब कल से आप ओपीडी में पेशेंट रिक्रूट करना शुरू करोगे तो वो पोसेडॉन कौन से क्राइटेरिया की हो सकती है ये भी आप लोग वहां पे नोट करना शुरू करोगे, क्योंकि पोसेडॉन क्राइटेरिया को कब पता चलेगा? When you stimulate the patient, then only you will come to know what is Poseidon group. But you should start thinking of this. Now I will go to the next case. I just tell me Anushka कि कल कहाँ पर है? Okay. So I go to the next case. That is a case of Neha. Neha is Indian. She stays in India, very much in India. सामने नागपुर में रहती है. Her age is 32 years. She is married since 3 years. She is trying since 8 months. There is no conception. Experiencing shorts. देखो important देखो. Her history. Experiencing ऊपर ही मेरे shorts आकर सारे आजकल पता नहीं 22 days में मेरे periods आ जाते हैं. Since last 6 months she consulted you for your opinion. And the first thing that comes to your mind is diminished ovarian reserve. High index of suspicion. कौन लड़की वहाँ पे मोबाइल में देख रही है? प्लीज मोबाइल में देखना बंद करो. कौन सी लड़की वहाँ पे ब्लैक वाली? मोबाइल में मत देखो, मेरी तरफ सुनो. और यहाँ पे मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ मेरी तरफ ध्यान दो. So please have a high index of suspicion. Whenever you come to, अरे हंसना नहीं है यार, प्लीज हंसो मत. मैं इतना ईमानदारी से सिखा रहा हूँ आपको, आप ध्यान दो मेरी तरफ. Whenever you have a diminished ovarian reserve, you should have a high index of suspicion. Why you should have a high index of suspicion? Because the incidence is rising, and that is the reason why you should think of DOR first. And in this case of Neha, there is a problem. Her cycles are short, and therefore you should think of this. And what is the plan of action now? In case of Neha, will you immediately tell her कि तुमको तो IVF करना पड़ेगा, तुम्हारा AMH बहुत कम हो गया है, तुम्हारे को प्रॉब्लम है, ऐसा बोलोगे क्या? नहीं बोलोगे, क्योंकि उसका भी साइकोलॉजी अपने को समझना है. वो तो जस्ट आई थी आपके पास. She is married since only 3 years. You will not say utter a word IVF, and never ever do a mistake of saying donor X. Please remember this. आप सब लड़कियां जो IVF में काम करने वाले हो, कभी भी गलती से पेशेंट को मत बोलना कि डोनर X देने पड़ेंगे. ऐसा मत बोलो. 0.1 AMH वाले भी खुद के एक से बच्चा पैदा कर सकते हैं. ध्यान में रखो. So don't discourage patients. Otherwise patients will run away from Matashri. So don't do that. Tell them that yes, we will try. So in case of Neha, what is important is your approach toward diminished organ reserve. You should have empathy, not only sympathy, empathy towards this patient, and you should give them some time to think what is the next step, and during this time you give them adjuvants. And remember, 3 एक के कौन से हैं? 3 A's of ovarian reserve. One is age, second is AMH, and third is AFC. And the guidelines say that the 2 most reliable indicators for ovarian reserve are AMH and AFC. So whenever you do ultrasound in OPD you should always make it a habit to do 2 types of scans. One scan is the basic scan, that is called anatomical scan, and second is the physiological scan. पेशेंट का कौन सा दिन है मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल का वो देखो, और उसके हिसाब से देखो कि इसका इंटरमिटेंट same time. Anatomical scan and physiological scan. इसका मतलब क्या है? फाइब्रॉइड तो नहीं है, यूट्रस रेट्रोवर्टेड है कि एंटीवर्टेड है, ये सब देखो। और पेशेंट का कौन सा मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल का दिन है? If she is a day 2 menstrual cycle, what will you look for? Thin endometrium, right? What will you look for? AFC. What will you look for? Retention cyst, right? If you are doing anatomical scan, तुम क्या देखोगे? Fibroids, adenomyosis, retroverted uterus, endometrial cyst. These are the anatomical things you have to look for, and then you have to also look for the AFC. So make it a habit to do both at the same time, right? So age, AMH and AFC are the three most reliable indicators of ovarian disorder. लेकिन FSH का भी महत्व है, और मुझे याद है मुझे संगीता ने बताया था कि AFC, FSH कब करना, उसका एक टॉक था जो मेरे को अभी भी याद है। उसने बताया था कि FSH कब करना, FSH कब करना, जब AMH लो होगा तब FSH करना। FSH is actually a complementary test. Why it's a complementary test? Because if the patient is having low AMH but her FSH is still not very high, समझने की कोशिश करो। If it is in 1 digit, समझ लो FSH 9 है, 9, FSH is 9 and AMH is 0.3, that means you have a good prognosis. This patient can still conceive and you must give her chance. This is something which is to be kept in mind. If her FSH is less than 10, even if her AMH is very low, she is going to respond. And this is something which you also. So FSH is a complementary test which you must do along with the AMH to know how to go ahead. अब as far as the AMH is concerned, आप लोग पेशेंट आती है तुम्हारे पास, समझ लो 17 साल की लड़की है, 17 साल की लड़की है, और वो बोल रही है कि मेरे पेशेंट्स पेरेंट्स इरेगुलर है। तो आपने से कौन कितने लोग AMH करोगे? आप AMH करोगे कि नहीं करोगे? करोगे। 18 साल की लड़की समझ लो ओपीडी में, तो AMH करते हो? नहीं करते ना, करना भी नहीं है। क्यों नहीं करना है? बिकॉज़ गाइडलाइन से दैट AMH सेटल्स डाउन बाय 20 to 25 years of age. That means don't do AMH before 25 years of age. Do it after 25 years. मतलब कोई भी लड़की आई तो उसका AMH मत करो। ये एक बात ध्यान रखना। दूसरा है, हमको सिखाया गया था कि AMH can be done at any time. Intermenstrual and intramenstrual, inter and intermenstrual, there is no impact and there is no change in the AMH value. But new guidelines say that it is better to do AMH in the first 4 days of the cycle. It is better. Though there is minimum intercycle and intercycle variability. That is the beauty of AMH. देखो आप OCPS देते हो पेशेंट को, तो आप FSH करोगे कि नहीं करोगे? मुझे बताओ। पेशेंट OCPS पे और दूसरे दिन में आई तो FSH करोगे? नहीं करोगे। आप क्या बोलोगे? 3 मंथ्स का वॉश आउट पीरियड दो। क्या बोलोगे? 3 महीने का वॉश आउट पीरियड दो, उसके बाद उसका आप FSH करोगे, so that you get the right report. Similarly, AMH, the beauty of AMH is it can be done even if the patient is on OCPS. You can do AMH even if the patient is on GnRH agonist, like a patient of endometriosis. But now the new guidelines say that it is better to do it just like FSH and AMH. Okay? समझ गए? So in case of Neha, you can do time intercourse, you can do IUI, you can do IVF. But you should give time. And as I told you, patient उनको ये बात पूछेंगे कि डॉक्टर मेरा AMH बढ़ सकता है क्या? ये सवाल आपको जरूर करेंगे। डॉक्टर मेरा AMH कम है, बढ़ सकता है क्या? तो आपको उसको क्या बोलना है? बेटा AMH तो नहीं बढ़ेगा, लेकिन तेरी ऊसेट की क्वालिटी हम लोग जरूर इंप्रूव करेंगे। क्या बोलना है? ऊसेट की क्वालिटी हम लोग जरूर इंप्रूव करेंगे। एंड दिस इज द, इसका फोटो आप सब पीजी स्टूडेंट आप इसका फोटो निकालो, इसका पिक्चर निकालो और ये पिक्चर ध्यान में रखो। देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज endocrine control and paracrine control. What is the difference? You always know the physiology of ovulation, which starts from day 1 of the menses, and first 4 days is menstrual cycle, and then on 14th day there is ovulation, and then there is a secretory phase. You all know this, right? Now you should know that there is a paracrine control also. There are premarital follicles which become primary follicles, which become secondary follicles, and then they become small antral follicles, and then one of the follicles becomes a dominant follicle. मालूम है सब आपको? So there is a period of paracrine control, which is actually gonadotropin independent. It is not dependent on gonadotropins, and this is the period when you can actually give adjuvants to your patients. So when the patient says give me something, you should give adjuvants like DHEA, testosterone gel. All these adjuvants, especially dinisorizole, you can do DHEA, which is a low androgen, which is a mild androgen. Then testosterone supplementation gel. Then you can give growth hormones. You can give pyridostigmine. You can give antioxidants. And all these things are called as add-ons or adjuvants. And if you read X-ray guidelines reject all the add-ons. See the guidelines, they reject all the add-ons, but still we give, because the guidelines are based on the meta-analysis and the studies which are there in the market or which are there in the academic circles. But there is something called as personal experience which also works, and therefore we give adjuvants even if the guidelines say that we don't do. Over in PRP is something which is actually, again, patient says, doctor, give me something. Doctor, do something for me, and you have to do something for this patient. Over in PRP or over in rejuvenation is one of the things which you can do. So laparoscopically we do over rejuvenation. You can also do it ultrasound guided. Have you anybody seen ultrasound guided over in rejuvenation? I have never seen, and I have this apprehension in my mind that I may not be able to catch the ovary properly in diminished ovaries under USG guided, because ovaries are already small. They are atrophic ovaries, but people do it. People do USG guided, we do it laparoscopically. So you can do it laparoscopically. Stem cell is something which is coming up. Now, as I told you, age, AMH, AFC सब कुछ important है. लेकिन what is important is duration of marriage and the chemistry between husband and wife. Why this is important? Because initial days of marriage, and this is something which has got a social importance. And in the society, when you are moving in the society, you should tell this to your friends, to your colleagues, to your sisters, to everybody in the family, that there is something called as राजा रानी की केमिस्ट्री, और राजा रानी की केमिस्ट्री भी इम्पोर्टेंट रहती है. पहले साल में जो इंटरकोर्स ट्राई वीकली होता है, 3 साल के बाद वो ट्राई वीकली होने लगता है. That means the frequency of intercourse goes down, and that can also be a cause of infertility. So you should tell your patients, you should tell your relatives, everybody that शादी की 1 नहीं तो 2 साल के अंदर बच्चा पैदा करो, because the frequency of intercourse goes down, and because of that, obviously the patient will develop infertility. Then, as I told you, you can go for direct intercourse in the case of Neha, but the best option is to go for IUI. Because IUI is something which you are a step ahead. So initial 2 cycles of direct intercourse followed by IUI is the best approach. And in IUI these are the studies which are focusing postpartum group 3, where they say that IUI gives you very good results because your patient is young, and young age gives you that advantage. Even if the age is low, the age is there, which is in our hand. So we have time, and therefore this Neha is group 3 postpartum. Therefore, in her case, IUI can work very well. So remember, friends, IUI can be done in these patients, and then after several attempts of IUI, we can go for IVF. अब ये several attempts is a $1 million question कि several attempts का मतलब क्या? कितने IUI के cycles के बाद आप IVF करोगे? And you all should know this very clear in your mind. Initially, I remember 12 IUI लोग करते थे, 15 IUI लोग करते थे, उसके बाद 6 IUI करने लगे, फिर 4 करने लगे, और अभी आजकल बोलते हैं कि 3 के ऊपर IUI मत करो, और उसमें भी 2 ट्रायल्स है, फास्ट ट्रायल एंड 40 ट्रायल. ये क्या है? What is this fast trial and what is 40 trial? Fast trial says that fast track and standard treatment trial. मतलब उन्होंने fast track को standard treatment से कंपेयर किया. उनका कहना है कि age is more than 35, do only 2 IUI. What is 40 trial? 40 trial is the 40 and over treatment trial. When the age is around 40 years, the 40 trial says that don't do IUI, straight away go for IVF. So fast trial says that only 2 IUI, and 40 trial says that not more than no IUI at all, directly go for IVF. So that is what is the 40 trial. So now I think audience, you all are convinced that in case of Neha, what should be your line of action? Because she was not aware of her OMH, she is young, but her image is 0.8. Give her some time. Let her get adjusted. So 3 months of period give her with adjuvants. Let her try actually go for time intercourse. Then try IVF for 2 cycles, at the most 3 cycles, and then go for IVF. That is the approach in case of Neha. And last is luckily Neha consists in 7 seconds and just have relief. And last is 5 minutes. Anila, 5 minutes. Okay. Last is a case of
5 minutes.
Or I can stop here.
Yeah, we think it's interesting.
Because it is already
It's quite interestingly listening, so I think we can identify.
Okay, I'll give you a brief idea about IVF now. A case of Ratan and Aparna. Aparna Ratan के बारे में शॉर्ट में बताता हूँ कि अपर्णा ब्लॉगर है, ट्रैवलर राइटर है, रतन जो फोटो वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी करता है, मजे में जी रहे हैं, शादी को उनके 8 साल हो गए हैं, 10 साल हो गए, 10 साल हो गए, बच्चे के बारे में सोचा नहीं, अभी 38 इयर्स का एज हो गया, आप लोग बोलते हैं कि अभी बच्चे पैदा करो, अब वो सोच रहे हैं कि शायद हम लोग बच्चे पैदा करेंगे, and her age is 39, 40 and married since 10 years and now they want to go for pregnancy and her age is 0.3. So she is a classical case of group 4 postpartum, and here you just go for the IVF. There is no, because she belongs to 40 trial group, 40 group. So you have to go for IVF, and there is something called as follicular oocyte index. And what is FOI? FOI is very interesting. This should be actually more than 50%. That means when you stimulate the patient, you see the ovaries and you are happy. Even at the age of 40, you see 8 follicles here, 8 follicles there, you are very happy. And why I am telling you this? Because you all will be doing this very soon. You will stimulate the ovaries, you will do the ultrasound, and when you do the ultrasound, you are very happy कि अरे इसमें तो 10 follicles दिख रहे हैं, और फिर मैं जब पिकअप करने आऊँगा और मैं बोलूँगा 2 oocytes मिलेंगे, तो आपको लगेगा डॉक्टर चैतन्य शंकर को oocyte ओवा पिकअप नहीं आता, वो तो मेरे को अच्छे 10 follicles दिख रहे थे, सिर्फ 2 oocytes क्यों निकले? So this is called as follicular oocyte index, and this FOI is low in patients with low AMH. Remember this? तो मैंने 2 oocytes निकाले, तो ऐसा मत समझो कि मेरे को पिकअप नहीं आता. Try to understand that in patients of DOR, you will get low FOI, and therefore you should be counseling the patients about this. There are various ideas. People say that more the merrier. जितने ज़्यादा हमें अंडे मिले उतना अच्छा है. Some people say less is more. And some people say that we need eggs and not all the eggs. So you need a quality eggs, and that is what is important. Therefore, you should actually have a good protocol. In short, I will tell you that nowadays you know that there is something called down regulation. Down regulation is done with agonist or antagonist. Nowadays we do antagonist, and अपने सेंटर में अब antagonist protocol ही यूज करने वाले हैं, क्योंकि सब्जेक्ट antagonist हम लोग antagonist ही करते हैं. लेकिन आजकल there is a again interest which is created in agonist protocol also. And some people they say that in patients with diminished ovarian reserve, agonist protocol also works well, because you would get a good cohort of follicles, and the oocyte quality some people say is also good. And if you at all wish to transfer in the same cycle, which is rarely done nowadays, we will not do it because we will go for freeze or calcium, but we will also fresh transfer will do some patients. In that case, endometrial lining is also good with agonist protocol. So agonist is one protocol. Second is antagonist protocol, which we all will be doing. Now, how do you start the treatment? In patient of DOR, stimulation start करोगे, कितना डोज दोगे? अपने पास 2 प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं. एक प्रोटोकॉल है स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल या हाई डोज प्रोटोकॉल, जो इंडिया में बहुत पॉपुलर है, क्योंकि एशियंस they have different ethnicity, different phenotype, and they need high dose of chlorophylls. And therefore in India we very often start with high dose, that is 450. So what we do? We start with 450. That is called as conventional dose or standard dose. लेकिन yesterday guidelines say that the dose should not be more than 300. So it should not be more than 300, but we start with 450. That is one thing. क्योंकि when you first start the treatment in the mid cycle, it is very difficult because you don't get the response. So you should start the dose at the right dose. So dosage to start with should be right dose. And therefore ये बात ध्यान रखना कि जो सफर की शुरुआत अच्छे से करते हैं, वो मंजिल भी पा लेते हैं. बस एक बार चलने का हौसला रखना जरूरी है. अच्छे इंसानों का तो रास्ते ही इंतजार करते हैं. So start with the right dose. लेकिन इसमें और एक पॉइंट है. That is something called as soft protocol or mild protocols, which is also becoming very common. And अपने सेंटर में अपन आधे पेशेंट्स को कन्वेंशन देंगे और आधे पेशेंट्स को स्नेहल सॉफ्ट प्रोटोकॉल देंगे. What is mild protocol? Mild protocol is something where you start with the chlorine citrate CC 150 plus HMG CC plus HMG 150 CC 100 plus HMG 150 या Letroz with HMG 150. That means low dose protocols, also called as soft protocols. So you can do that also. So two types of treatments are there: soft protocol and the conventional protocols. So this is about the things which are important. You should also know that there are some things which are becoming very popular nowadays, as dual stim protocol or Shanghai protocol, where you do stimulation 2 times in the same month. एक बार स्टिमुलेशन करने के बाद पिकअप करने के बाद 2 दिन का ब्रेक देना और फिर से स्टिमुलेशन करना. This type of treatment is more popular in cancer patients, but it is also tried in patients with English organism. Okay, so this is Shanghai protocol, and in English organism you may do this. You can give trigger at an early stage at 16 mm follicle and do home pickup at 34 hours. This is something which can be tried. 16 mm follicle and 34 hours pickup, because usually we do pickup at 35 hours. So Sneha, also keep this in mind. At 16 mm we may try some patients with 34 hours pickup. So these are the things which can be actually done to get the good results. As I told you, we almost always do frozen embryo transfers, FET cycles. Very rarely we do fresh transfer cycles, and in FET you have to counsel the patient regarding embryo pooling. Someone the patient's age is low, you get only one embryo. What you have to do, you have to counsel them that एक और cycle करके देखो, accumulate the embryos, do the embryo pooling and then do the transfer. These are things which can be done. And last but not the least is PGT. And this is also, you have to talk about PGT. You may not be able to do it, but in our center, at Omega we are doing PGT. So we can actually tie up and we can do PGT at our center also. Why? Because the patient whose age is around 39 years, whose AMH is low, is an indication for PGT. And if you don't do PGT and if the patient comes negative, जरूर वो आपका सर खाएगी ओपीडी में. वो बोलेगी हमने तो चैट जीपीटी करके देखा, इसमें बोला कि पीजीटी करना चाहिए था, आपने पीजीटी क्यों नहीं किया? तो उसके लिए पेशेंट को you must counsel that there is something called as PGT-A, which should be done in patients with diminished ovarian reserve where the age is around 39 to 40. So advanced maternal age with low AMH, PGT is one of the indication. And last but not the least, we don't want to go for this, so we should try to avoid this. Try to avoid this, because patient also feel good that you have given her the best, and donor program is the last thing which can be done. So last, this is the reel जिसमें मैंने सिर्फ इतना बोला था कि जल्दी शादी करो, जल्दी बच्चे पैदा करो. उसको 4 लाख के ऊपर व्यूज मिले हैं और 6,000 लाइक्स और 2,000 शेयर्स हुए. तो मेरे बेटे ने बोला कि पापा आपके जैसे जो अंकल लोग हैं ना, उन्होंने सबने अपने बच्चों को ये फॉरवर्ड किया है. But whatever may be the fact remains that this is the message we should be given to the society, क्योंकि हर कोई डायना आइडल नहीं है और सबके उसे फेस करके कोई मतलब नहीं है. बाद में उसका क्या होने वाला है उसको इसके बारे में किसी को मालूम नहीं है. So I end with this quote that life's tragedy is that we get old too soon. We get old too soon and wise too late. Thank you very much. Thanks for patient listening. And I enjoyed this because this is like a master class. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaitanya Shenbakar. As it is, it is very interesting and very terrific, I have to say, and a fantastic talk. And it is with many examples. And we know that the whole world is experiencing the dramatic slumping infertility. The sperm counts are falling, oocytes are actually they are having a decrease of the reserve. And there is something to do it as you say, no, I don't think that we are old school. We should counsel the patient as you are doing, and we are also doing. We should counsel the patient. In the college also, we should counsel the patient that our ovarian reserve, the biological clock, which is very, very important. I always tell in talks, it is very important that you should look at this thing and you should consult, because you are techno-savvy, but you don't consult a doctor before you are married or after your marriage. You should consult. You should talk of your ovarian reserve, which is very, very important. And no, I think Azri's talk was very nice.
Thank you.
Very things, because we are witnessing the different technologies, breakthrough technology, but the tender loving care is very important that you are giving. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.